At midnight each day.
On Valentine's night.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home.
David is my husband.
All on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda,
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Ooh. Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then? Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch. That's not really a question. It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes, poor Agnes. She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth. It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her, "No Jehovah's!" They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I don't know, I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. No, I can't really answer that. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. Have you been listening to me? Ask me something about my problem. I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Doctor Dekker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they? They haven't found her because that thing ate her. Or made her disappear or something. Her useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though. Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that's stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a weaselly little man. He spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor? I'll get someone else to do it. I suppose I shouldn't really expect any help from you. Dr. Dekker used to call me the leech lady. He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck them right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine. I was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life? Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker? Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you? Ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now. We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce. I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours. There's not much to tell. I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here. When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting, they watch me, normally disapprovingly. Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art, because I'm too young. Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me. Nope. When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. I really don't know. Sorry. I've been working on portraits at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me. That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor? Who told you to ask that? I honestly don't know. I hear it so many times with that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you. He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though. My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her. Doctor Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra. No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance. The temazepam? The sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time. Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this? Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour. When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground? Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that. I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture. Yes, I would steal too, and I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things. Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor? I can't delete them. I don't know why. I haven't shown them to anyone else. Do you want to see them, Doctor? If you want to see those photos, you're as sick as I am. Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a evening. They had a display with the theme Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done. I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is? No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor? That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me. Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. I'm a bit of a professional at this grave-filling business, Doctor. I know a decoy coffin when I handle one. Therapists are supposed to help you. For whatever reason, Dr. Dekker had given up the desire to cure my mind, and instead wanted to make me more unstable. I live on my own. Occasionally I visit my father. He's in sheltered housing. Dementia. You're laughing at me, aren't you? I said I wasn't sure if they were real. Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway. That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there. From stealing milk, I moved on to petrol. From petrol, well, all those supermarkets have all kinds of electricals, so I've stolen quite a lot of that. I'm not proud. I think I've been doing it because I can, to prove to myself either way, my extra hour is actually real. I don't think you would, Doctor. I don't think I would either. Moving things around and hiding things was amusing at first, when everyone was frozen. Some people would faint when things appeared from mid-air. Others would cry. Others just thought that it was there all the time and that their mind was playing tricks on them. It got boring fast, though. Thinking I had an extra hour at the end of each day did become real for me, Doctor. Maybe Dekker was a genie, and he could grant wishes. Maybe he wished himself dead. I don't know. I took a picture after undressing her. I put her clothes back on before time resumed. To be honest, there wasn't much to take off and put on. Do you know what kind of girls walk around at midnight, Doctor? Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you. I know. It's that bloody Doctor Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died. I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor. Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there. David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house, otherwise I would have died too. The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he. I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water. There's very little I'm not willing to talk about, Doctor. But I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan, anyway. I had to toughen up quickly. Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces. I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine. Sorry. I don't know. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do. He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens. She lives on the other side of the lake. She must be new. I haven't seen her there before. Do you think I killed my parents? I'm not sure. It was a faulty boiler, I think. It's okay if you think I killed them. You wouldn't be the first to draw that conclusion. People can be so cynical. I'm used to it. Yes, I loved my parents very much. They were very good parents. It was hard letting them go. I don't remember my friend's name. She was a girl from my school. Vicky, Charlotte. It's not really important. Instead of his usual sarcasm and rebuttals, he seemed genuinely excited. Presumably he had a date.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse. Sorry, no. This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket? I don't know. Are you happy, Doctor? Really? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know? Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier, held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and I went home, alone. I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi. Yes, I had a session with Doctor Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, I still can't get over it. Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. To help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way. Hilda wants to see her daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent. I can change my skin. What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them. It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them. I feel like you're asking me questions about something I don't know anything about. I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone. Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK. Healthcare serial killer. You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off. His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type. That's not really important. Ask me something else. I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material. I didn't lie. I'm really not interested in dating anyone. I just went out with Max as a favour, for a friend. Like I said, it wasn't anything serious. Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him. We talked about families, I think. Our mums. I probably spent far too much time talking to Dr. Dekker about my mum. I can sense it, you know? It's like when you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. It sounds silly when I put it into words. I sound like my mum. Alice was one of my favourites. She never held back, spoke her mind about everything. But she had a wicked sense of humour. It was the one thing she held on to right until the end, her most treasured possession. She said she wanted me to have it. You don't argue with a dying person's last wishes. The bond I have with my patients is not the same for the other nurses. They don't have my special talent. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think I have any loose ends. I don't know what that says about me. Dr. Dekker almost certainly had unfinished business. He didn't know he was going to die. But it's too late now. That's why I have to help Hilda while I can. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does. No, it doesn't hurt at all. I don't think it's a physical thing. I don't think my body actually changes. I think it's more like an illusion, like my energy changes or something. I don't know. Are you happy, Doctor? It only lasts for as long as I'm holding the hand. I think it needs that connection. I've shifted a few times now. I honestly couldn't tell you how many. I'm not sure I should talk about that. Aren't I breaking some reverse patient-therapist confidentiality? Mainly he talked about being a therapist. He said he had a few patients like me, you know, with special gifts. He said not all of them were as enlightened as me. I know what I can do is special. I see it as a good thing. But apparently, some of his other patients saw their abilities as a curse. Dr. Dekker hated that. He said he wished they could all be more like me. No, I didn't go on a date with Dr. Dekker. He's my therapist. I would just be wrong. You seem happy. You have a very positive energy.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts. New doctor and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them. We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile. Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. Makes me feel dull by comparison. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? It was Valentine's Day. I drink on special occasions. I was with Dr. Dekker until about 9 o'clock. I remember getting an Uber. It was expensive, and the driver was annoying. I saw one of your patients, actually, the nurse, when we drove by the pier. She was with someone. I don't think she saw me. I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. I've kind of missed it. You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor? It sounded like an offer to me, Doctor. I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less. I want to stop having blackouts. I want to be able to remember. I want you to fix me. It's Scarlet with 2 T's. Pretentious. We only went out for drinks that one time. For a lot of our sessions, he would be pretty impartial. A passive listener. But towards the end, he liked interfering. Like, he wanted to push me over the edge. Don't know. It's cold in here. I'm not sure how this therapy thing works, but if you're talking to a guy who wants to jump off a cliff, don't tell him to jump. It's just an example. I'm not a guy. I don't want to jump off a cliff. I just felt like I had some kind of special power, and part of me wanted to use it, and he urged me to do that. I don't want to say any more about it, not now. I'm a shape-shifting vampire werewolf. I said I didn't want to talk about it. What is it you're thinking about when you're not listening to me? It's a bit chilly in here. The leather's not warm either. Sorry, no. I think your button's undone. Yeah, You've a button undone. Yeah, the Uber driver also fished down by the sea. He said he'd seen me lots of times after I washed up. And he told me that I had a great body. I just wanted to get home. I don't know anything else about the driver. I've forgotten him already. I have no idea. I just went home. I guess he probably came back here if that's where they found him. A hope for a cure, of course. Dr. Dekker did date his patients. Not me, I'd never agree. A drink is not a date. You know, like a breach of ethics or something. Girl doesn't ask for details. People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other. Don't ask me, I don't know. I don't drink, only sometimes, like a social drinker. Like a social smoker, they don't smoke either. Doctor, I don't think our relationship has got to that point yet. We went out for Valentine's Day. Neither of us had dates, so I just suggested we go out together. You know, rather than just sit in with nothing to do. He'd been acting a bit strange anyway, and I thought he could do with a break.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes. I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor? If you like winter, you're supposed to be hard-working and analytical. I suppose that increases my chances of you curing my problem. I don't think winter was Hannah's favourite season. Not colourful enough. Can't help you. Sorry. I think fire is very primal in terms of energy. Maybe if I burn something, my days will keep rolling. Although I'm not sure you're supposed to encourage arson in these sessions, Doctor. I don't know what you're talking about. I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah, just the two of us. That's paradise. Pass. Hannah was forever giving to charity. Her things, her time, our money. I actually suggested a charity that Dr. Dekker mentioned called Mind Stretch Outreach. I've got nothing. Mind Stretch Outreach arranges programs for gifted children. It's for poor, clever kids who can't afford private education. It's not much of a charity, I guess, but it certainly ends up with a lot of clever people who are thankful to the people running it. Which, in this case, is Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing. I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else? Thanks, Doctor. I appreciate that. I still don't think I'm ready to move forward in that respect. Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor? I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best? Photographs it is then. I'll let you know how it goes. Hannah never met Dr. Dekker. She did donate to his charity once though. I think Dr. Dekker set up Mind Stretch Outreach so that he could influence the minds of children at an early age, getting them to believe they could be anything they wanted to be. Since his death, it's been disbanded. No more minions of Dr. Dekker. It just felt like he was growing this child army of intelligentsia. I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. But it does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day. She was interested. Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours. I don't know. It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of an ocean. It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation. I meant I wasn't in the mood to talk to Dr. Dekker. We walk alone without our angel. I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone. She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up. She stopped breathing. I don't know. I was 6. Something to do with her lungs.
Hey you! Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. We'd worked late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters, he was sure there was a pattern in them. Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. Sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. He's not the first person that's done that, but still, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here. Mariana is a special girl. There's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. He barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. He barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Oh, don't be such a... It's just between us two. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? I think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Dekker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along. Test is the wrong word, more like gently guide. Professor Alderby had a lot of good advice to offer the young psychiatrists. He really helps them focus on where the problems are. This practice is owned by a trust. They make all the money and leave me to make all the decisions, which generally means making lots of money. I headhunted Dr. Dekker. And you? I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. I've got a flair for recognising the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Dekker were extraordinary. Both Cambridge graduates, both top of the class, both pliable, obedient slaves to my every whim. That last one's more of a hope than a must-have attribute. So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum. I'm not trying to hide anything. I just don't know. She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. So you watched the tapes? Gold star for you. I think you might be barking up the wrong tree there. It smashed. One step ahead of you, boss. Elin was picked up from the pier just after 11 p.m. There is no way she could have got from there to here in an hour. Nobody likes chaos, Doctor. We're supposed to be restoring order, don't you think? Everyone has to believe in something, don't they, Doctor?